Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has announced that he is running to be the 2024 Republican nominee for President of the United States, being seen as the biggest challenger to former President Donald Trump. While he is known for creating captivating headlines through culture wars on gender and sexuality, gun rights, building a prison beside Disney World, etc., instead of talking about Florida, the state where woke goes to die, let's talk about Florida and what DeSantis has done for his state's economy. Florida is one of the fastest growing states, both population and economically speaking. With its lax COVID rules, the sunny skies, no income tax, and less taxes in general, it has been a magnet for businesses migrating out of California and New York. In 2022, Florida had the second highest rate of job growth, adding over 440,000 new positions. One of the lowest unemployment rates in the country at 2.7%. The third highest rate of new business formations per capita, and for the first time since statistics have been tracked, outpaced the number of employed workers in New York. Comparing Florida to New York, you can see why people are moving there en masse. Even though Florida spends less than half as much per citizen as New York does, Florida has a lower poverty rate, less wealth inequality, a quarter of the number of homeless residents, and ranks at the top for highest well-being, most notably in the city of Naples. A great example of an area where Florida shines based on statistics is education. When thinking about Governor Ron DeSantis and education, first thoughts may be libraries and schools with empty books, or the infamous Parental Rights in Education Act, known as the Don't Say Gay bill. But Florida, according to US News' 2022 Best States report, has the best education in the union, with lower than average tuition rates, higher enrollment rates from K through 12, and finally, strong school graduation rates. Looking purely at economic numbers, Governor DeSantis has led his state to be one of the most prosperous in the union. But that being said, not all the battles he's picked with the radical woke agenda have paid off. The Walt Disney Corporation, one of Florida's biggest employers, walked back on a $1 billion planned campus and the 2,000 jobs that would have come with it, citing hostilities with the governor as one of the reasons why. So life in Florida, economically speaking, is sounding pretty good. But can all of this really be attributed to the governor? The historic budget surplus that the state had, some have given the credit to DeSantis, while others have given it to Democratic President Joe Biden through the COVID stimulus to states. Florida's education system was already good before he entered office, and it is without a doubt that the school's curriculum is now one of the most contentious in the country. So what are some of the grayer skies ahead for the Sunshine State? The most imminent threat for the low-lying peninsula is climate change. Florida has and will continue to face extreme flooding from severe rain, higher storm surges, rising sea levels, and intensifying hurricanes. And while the sun may be pleasant now, that temperature is only going to rise. In the coming years, some coastal counties will face extreme peak temperatures of 125 degrees Fahrenheit, or 51 degrees Celsius. There's also the hardships that are just generally felt by citizens in Florida, especially those on the lower end of the income bracket. Florida and its major cities have some of the worst public transit infrastructure in the country, and its median household income is significantly lower than other states. Florida was ranked 51st out of 50 states and the District of Columbia, also known as last, for unemployment benefits and long-term elder care. Due to the no income tax, the state taxes its poorest citizens the most. While living in Florida may sound nicer to living in California, it has a lower life expectancy, higher infant mortality rates, and higher teen birth rates. So, to close, hello and welcome to the great state of Florida, the governor, Ron DeSantis, officially kicked off his campaign for the White House using Twitter, and it was a complete disaster.
And lockdowns that we have yet to fully. Let's see,
But ignoring that, let's see why the governor should be president. Under his framework for freedom, Florida is thriving. This has indicated to him that it is time to make America Florida. That's a similar catchphrase to one of his competitors. In the battle between Donald Trump and Ronald DeSantis, there is similar ideas, but one side has much less baggage than the other. While Trump was blamed for the poor performance of the GOP in the 2022 midterms, Governor Ron DeSantis beat his Democratic challenger by 19 percentage points. The New York Post even called him "the future." Meanwhile, Donald Trump called him Ron DeSanctimonious, and the left called him disaster. But if polling numbers stay on track, it is all but guaranteed that one of the two Arnolds will be the Republican 2024 nominee. And if it is Ron, only an 82-year-old man named Joe stands in his way from becoming president. Floridian Governor Ron DeSantis. Freedom is worth fighting for, and that fight begins today. If you enjoyed this video and or found it informative, please consider liking and subscribing to support the channel. Here to report that our entire energy grid is falling to pieces.